Hi everybody, Big Bender here. The lock in front of me is an EVVA 4KS. The 4KS is pretty similar to the 3KS in terms of functionality. I picked the 3KS in one of my previous videos and explained how it works. If you are interested in that, just have a look. The 4KS also uses 12 sliders and 2 sidebars. It has a key control bar and the sidebars push into the keyway. So what are the difference between those locks? So on the key you have an asymmetric curve on both sides, and that does make it 4 curves overall. The 3KS has 3 curves, but all are symmetrical. Therefore the 4KS has a fourth, you could say, a hidden curve. By the way, the KS stands for Kurvensystem, which means curve system, and the numbers implies the number of curves. But apparently this fourth curve does not make the lock more secure, as you can still use the key both sides. I can use it like this and like that. Some pins must have more than the usual 2 true gates. And I don't know if it is always like this, but in my particular lock, those sliders are the ones in the front. As you can see, they have 3 true gates. And there's another difference, but that one was actually introduced with the 3KS Plus. One of the last sliders has a thicker pin than it is normally the case. This one here. This should make inserting the key at the very end more comfortable or smooth, and it should prevent that keys can be used interchangeable across different lock families. I cannot say that this is necessarily true or that I could feel the difference. In the end, it's mainly to keep and extend the patterns on the keys and locks. I wasn't able to find any information if tolerances, for example, increased, but I will give a comment on that in my afterthoughts. One last thing. If you compare the 3KS key to the 4KS key, you can see that the tip is a little bit different. The 4KS has a broader key, and this is also a factor that should make inserting the key a little bit more comfortable. At least according to the marketing claims. To pick this lock, I'm going to use the same tools as for the 3KS. I take my slider pick that I made specifically for the 3KS. It will also work with the 4KS, and the distance, the markings are still all correct. So they are really close to each other, the 3KS and the 4KS. I also use the same tensioner that already worked perfectly on the 3KS. The keyway has the same shape, so it fits again and sits tightly. However, for some reasons, I don't know why, the shape is mirrored. So this time I have to tension counterclockwise. You can see here. I have to tension like this. And on the 3KS, this is the gutted version, it was the other way around. So let's give it a try. So afterwards I can say that this 4KS was more difficult to pick than the 3KS. But I'm not sure if it's just because of wear and tear and differences in the bitting, or really due to differences between the lock generations. First of all, the true gates on the 4KS felt a bit smaller. The jiggling test to check whether or not you're sitting in a true gate was a little bit better on the 3KS. The slider pick was also not working as good as it did for the 3KS. The slider pins are a bit broader, especially the pin of slider number 6 I showed in the introduction, and it was more difficult to grab and move them. Also, navigating in the keyway felt more difficult. For this 4KS, the sliders were oftentimes on a similar high, and especially the right side was centered around a very similar high with only minor differences. To compensate that, I started at the back of the keyway and worked my way towards the front. However, if a slider dropped, it was difficult to set it again. In those cases, I didn't try to grab the pin, but I inserted the pick as low as possible until it was at the right position by checking the markings on the pick. And then I pushed it against the wall or the slider and moved it up. Basically, I tried to push the slider from the bottom to the right position. That worked, but I guess a hook could have made things a bit easier in those situations. So, well, I'm really not sure if this is all because of differences in the locks due to wear, age, previous picking attempts and normal variations in the bitting, or really a difference between the 3KS or 4KS in general. If you have further information on this, let me know in the comments. That's everything. Have a good one.